Like, it's just watching people's interactions with each other, my interactions with people. Like, I'm really just fascinated by how we deal with each other as human beings. And if anything, that's probably the primary inspiration for anything and everything that I write. You know, of course, then you have all the other things that everybody always likes to hear about, which are like, oh, jazz music and this and that. And like, I'm one of those people. Shoot, I hear a good song, I start thinking, oh shoot, you know, there's a story that could be told to this and whatnot. But you know, again, it all goes back to like, oh, you know, I remember seeing this woman in a cafe on the corner, and she looked like this. What was going on there? You know, what do I think was going on there? What, you know, like, what can I say about that? Or, you know, if it's, I read this newspaper article about child soldiers, and it's like, oh shoot, you know, like, there's a lot to be said about this. What stories can come out of this? That's really what it is, and that's the biggest inspiration. I think the thing that really bothers me, right, about work, and work that I think that I don't really like, is work that doesn't strive to look at multiple perspectives, work that oversimplifies things. That really irritates me, whether it's in music. I mean, you look at, you know, for example, rap music now versus rap music from, you know, a decade ago, 2 decades ago. And I mean, that was when I was like, what, 4 years old or something. But, you know, like, you go back and you listen. I had uncles who were listening to that sort of stuff. And, you know, when I got into high school or whatever, there were certain artists that were out. You know, I mean, that's just one of the things. And it's not just rap, it's like music in general. I mean, you look at some of these artists that come out now, and it seems so oversimplified. I mean, like, you know, every time I've gone back and read an interview or like heard that said, I mean, it does sound really absurd, doesn't it? Like, you read a magazine article and, oh shoot, now you think you can say whatever. It's pretty, I mean, like, it is a little, it sounds a little silly, but and I think the thing is, you get, these things come from all angles, and you can take something and blow it open and really try to explore it. I mean, do I feel like I have the right to speak for anybody? I don't really. I mean, I don't feel that way, and that wasn't the intention. It wasn't for me to say I am speaking for these sets of people, because that would be absurd. Like, the idea is, let's tell the story and let's see if we can add to a discussion, right? I think it's the terminology. I mean, I think that speaking for, right, is very different from speaking, right? And when you assume that you have the right to speak for, when you say that I am speaking for these people, you put yourself in a position of power over a certain set of people. You put yourself in a position of authority, which I don't think I have at all. I don't have the right to speak for any child soldiers. I have never thought I had. What I wanted to do was see, is there a way to put out this story and see if we can, you know, see if we can talk about some things and see if there are voices that can come into this discussion, see if I can add a voice. If anybody else has anything to say, you know, like, come on, let's add this voice and let's see what we can learn from this. And that was the idea. I mean, it just happened. I mean, it so happens that for me, the way of going about doing that was trying to write a novel. But, you know, there are people who have done that in many different ways, you know, whether it's through discussions, whether it's through painting or music or whatever, you know, and you see them. But it was, let me see what I can say in particular about this sort of thing. And you know, it came out the way it came out. It came out after listening to a lot of people speak about their own experiences. It came out after reading about a lot of people's different experiences. It came out after studying different ways of the different ways that people are affected by trauma or violence. I mean, it came out after it came out after listening, and I think that's what storytelling, that's what living is about. It's about listening to and assimilating other people's experiences into your own, and then using that to guide how you move about in the world. I mean, I think creating a story or writing a book is no different from living in that sense, and I mean, that was really what it was.